Hey everyone, this is a tutorial on how to make an error block and also pseudo error blocks, and I'll try to teach you guys various tips I've accumulated to facilitate with that. So essentially an error block is a large trap attached to a triple that corresponds to it. A pseudo error block would be one that's maybe it's in the wrong orientation, or maybe it's like a different triple, like so, and it doesn't have to be oriented, but this would be like a pseudo error block because you still are forming a triple with a large trap, but it doesn't have to be the right one. If you're able to do this with fairly little moves, like in your while you're making a large trap, then it's very, very worth it because that saves a lot of moves, time recognition later in the solve. Because you're able to inspect for this and like immediately insert it once you form the rest of the centers. So you can't always make an error block. In fact, majority of scrambles you won't be able to do it, but it definitely is the case that it can happen frequently enough where you're able to form an error block without too much difficulty straight from inspection. So I'm basically going to be going over various cases that you will see over and over again that lends itself very nicely to forming an error block without too much difficulty. Okay, so here's one example. Usually you can, so one type of case that you'll get is when you have an error block that's already formed and you have some, yeah, so whenever you have something like this, usually you can preserve it and form the error block, but it's not always possible. So this is a case where it is not that difficult to do. In this case, we see that the formed error block that we have is a red and blue one. We want to see if it's not that difficult to form the large trap that corresponds with to this triple, right? So that would be the red and blue one. So what we can do here is without messing this up, so you would want to move this out of the way and then attach this block to this edge like that. And then you can insert it like that, I guess. So this is another common case that you'll encounter. This is when you have an edge and a triangle attached to each other, and we also have a partially formed triple that's on the same side as it. So when we're trying to build our centers, let's say we want to extend this to form the large trap. And so we want to find where the purple white edge is, and it's right here. So obviously we can form it by doing 3 moves to form it like that, but that doesn't form this triple, right? So it would be nice if there was a blue triangle here. So the first thing we want to do is we look around to see if there's any easy way to insert it, and sometimes there won't be, and in those cases it wouldn't be worth trying to, trying to form this pseudo error block. But in this case we do see it is actually pretty easy because the places that you would be able to put a blue triangle in would be along this slice, right? Along this layer, and specifically on the upper part of each sort of side, right? So here, this is not a blue, this is not a blue, but here we see there is a blue. So in fact, what we can do is, in order to solve this pseudo error block, we'd bring this blue up, and then when we attach this edge here, we see that we actually do form the pseudo error block. And then we can finish up the rest of the center, right? Yeah, so that preserves that. And so there's a couple ways you can insert this once you formed it. You can either do it right away and then move on to the next one, or you can make opportunity of that to look ahead into your second triple solution. So this is actually what I usually do because I want to save this towards the end. So I'll do that and then insert. And then so sometimes what happens is that you can even cancel moves because while I was inserting this triple, I kicked this out. So then I only have to do 2 moves to insert this. So that's what I prefer doing, but I mean, honestly, you can't go wrong with just inserting it to begin with because you already know it's there, right? And sometimes it might be awkward. Like this was actually lucky because this kicked out where it was, but it won't always be that lucky. So here's an example of a potential error block that is actually would not be worth it to do. So here we have this block here, which is obviously a partially formed error block, and it would be nice if, so here we see the blue edge that should go there is right here. So it would be nice if there was a blue triangle right here. And unfortunately, this edge, firstly, is located in a location that's not very conducive to being able to place a triangle so easily, because any move that tries to place a triangle there messes up this arrow block, right? We could move it out of the way and then try to insert that, but then that would make it a lot more difficult to even form. Yeah, so this is one example. Moving it there and there allows you to form it, but it's not so obvious how you would form the arrow block. Like maybe you would, do something like that, but that's like, honestly, that would be too much, too many moves. So for something like this, I would probably not form the arrow block at all, and I would just, go straight to inserting it. This is still nice because you're still getting, like sort of half the triple already, so that'll save some moves, and you already know where it is, so that'll help with look ahead as well. But something like this would not be worth it. Okay, so here's another case that you might get. This is when you have either a partially formed pseudo arrow block, or in this case a partially formed actual arrow block, and you have the edge sort of in an awkward location. That's what it appears to be at first, but there's actually a really nice way to insert it, and it's just with two moves like that. So in this case, you have to think about what piece goes there, and that's this piece. So in this case, we have a lot of purple triangles to choose from. Sometimes there might not be any in the top layer, but if it is already in the top layer, then it's very easy to do, because you sort of do an AUF to get it in this location, which would form the correct arrow block, right? So if it's not on that layer, then you might want to put it there from anywhere in this slice. So let's say you don't even have anything there. So yeah, so in this case, it would be one move to place it there. Or if this was the only triangle that was on the slice, you may do two moves like that, right? And then you'd be able to two moves to form this arrow block. So here's another case that you might encounter. So this is when you have, okay, so let's say so we're looking around, and there isn't really any arrow block that we can form just by inspecting it. But what we see is that when we so let's say we want to form the purple-red large trap by inserting this. Yeah, so then we do that. And what we see is that this is formed, this triple. So hopefully this is something we'd be able to see in inspection. We see that by moving this edge here and forming this large trap, we're pairing this triple with this this triangle. So this is partially formed triple, and they'll form the triple once you do those moves. And so it wouldn't be a bad idea to sort of store that in the slot of the large trap that you made. And so in a way, you're making a pseudo arrow block, because you're recognizing that you're forming the triple and you're saving it for later so that you're able to save some moves. So I'd probably do something like that to form the large trap, putting it there to store. And remember that we can put in any orientation we like, because so we already know this triple doesn't correspond with this trap, but that's fine because we're able to insert it later anyway. And in this case, we actually want to have a preference for having it misoriented, because this is the actual place we want it to be, right? Once the center's already built. So then it's only two moves to insert it. Whereas if it was, formed in the right way, it would be at minimum 3 moves, unless we're able to cancel it somehow from inserting the right triple there. So in that case, yeah, so we'd store it like that, and then we'd finish off the center, the small trap, right, like that, and then we'd be able to just immediately insert it, or maybe insert it after we formed our second triple. Yeah, so that's like another way that you might be able to form an arrow block. Here's yet another example of an arrow block that you might be able to form. So in this case, we see that we have a partially formed arrow block right here, but unfortunately the edge that goes along with it, it's already there. So that doesn't really give us much opportunity to insert the right triangle. But if we see that there's not too many moves to insert it, then it might be advantageous to do so. So in this case, we see there's a blue triangle here. But the question is how would you easily bring that over there, right? So one way that you can actually do that is you would hide this part of the error block, do this trigger to insert it, and then bring it back up. So that only adds like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 moves, but it's all very fast because you have it right there. You can also have it maybe, let's say this triangle wasn't there and you wanted to pair it with that, then that's even less moves because you bring that down, insert it like that, and then bring it back up. And that forms the error block even quicker, right? However, if you're in a case where there's no, I don't know, let's say, yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to put it, okay, maybe let's say you had something like this, right? Something like that, okay. Yeah, so let's say it was like this. Now, there's no blue triangle on this layer, so you wouldn't be able to, insert anything. But I guess you would be able to do it with this one, right? You would just bring it over like that. And that's probably on the edge of what would be worth it to do. I probably wouldn't do that in a solve, but if you already see this is formed, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. But also make sure you have some idea of what the small trap solution would be. And in this case, it's very simple. Okay, so here's another example of an error block that you could do. So let's say we're trying to build this large trap with these blue and red edges. And here we can easily do that just with a U move, and that brings it over here. But what we see is that we have this partially formed triple, and I mean, it happens to be the one that corresponds to this trap, but it doesn't have to be. So when we bring this over, we see that this blue triangle is going to be moved here, and that actually makes it very easy to just form the triple. So this method of doing error blocks is essentially you're doing the first triple already, and then you're moving, and then you're finishing up the rest of the center. And in this case, it is worth it because, well, it's just 2 moves to get that formed. And I mean, so if this triple wasn't the one that corresponds, you just insert it like that to store it. But here, it would be worth it to just insert it the regular way, and then you can finish up the rest of the solution. But so essentially, sometimes the error block is just you doing the first triple like normally, and then proceeding with the rest of the center. And I would say it's only worth doing in the cases where you have some sort of partially formed triple, and you also have the right triangle that it goes with this already in this slice, right? If it so let's say you built the large trap, and all of the blue triangles were like sort of here, so then you'd have to do at minimum 1 move to get it there. That would be a bit awkward and probably wouldn't be worth doing. But in the cases where it's just like a single move to pair, then I would say it would be good to look out for those. One final thing I want to go over before I end this tutorial is to sort of think about, so it's to take advantage of the different ways you can form large traps. So in this scramble, we have a form triple here, and we'd want to preserve this and form our pseudo error block or error block if we're able to. So in this case, obviously the error block, the large trap that corresponds with this triple would be the red and blue, but here we see it's not so easy to form, especially without messing it up, right? One way we might be able to form it is like that, and then inserting it, but that would be a bit awkward to do. Something we can do that would certainly save on a lot of moves would be to, let's see. Okay, yeah, so something we have here we want to think about is these triggers that we do to form the large trap, which is essentially like, sort of doing a join move. We can insert this blue edge here, and that wouldn't affect this, right? We'd be able to insert that triple if we do that, and then insert. So that might actually be the best thing to do, even though it's not the right trap, right? Let's say we really did want to form the large trap. I guess this method wouldn't be too bad. So you would either do it from this orientation by inserting it like that, And as we can see, that's preserved. Or we can do it from the other orientation with on the blue face. And I think this would also preserve it. So like that. And then we'd be able to insert the small trap. Insert the triple. But that would be a bit more awkward to do because it's not as ergonomic, right? You're doing a bit of like AFFs on the different faces and then rotating in order to insert it. And we do want our first center solution to be pretty fluid and, relatively smooth to do. So for something like that, it's up to you what you prioritize and what you feel you can get away with during the first center. I don't like to go like too much out of my way to preserve it, but sometimes it is worth it. Like in the case where it wasn't, like in the case when we were just able to insert the blue edge to form the large trap in just 3 moves, and then like you're able to insert the triple. So yeah, in general, there's so many different ways to do air blocks. It's just up to you to be able to recognize when you're able to do it and to take advantage and do it in like the most efficient way possible. But yeah, I reckon probably like 30 or 40% of solves, there's some sort of air block that you can do, but it's not always easy to see and might not even be worth it necessarily to do. But yeah, the more you're able to take advantage of these, the faster your solves will become because you're offloading the time spent doing the first triple. Like you're saving a lot of moves. One thing that I do struggle with a lot that I think I can definitely improve, and I haven't found a good way yet, is once you form the arrow block, so you're so focused on forming the arrow block, and usually so if it's like 1 or 2 moves to form the entire arrow block, then it's not that difficult to see the rest of the center solution. But say it's like 3, 4, or even 5 moves to do the arrow block, and you have the last small trap, you have its pieces scattered like all over the puzzle, then it's actually not that easy to look ahead to seeing how to finish off the center. So a lot of the times when I do arrow blocks, I don't even know where the pieces are for the small trap, and it takes a bit of time to look around and then like get to building it, right? So I think that could definitely be helped by doing using up a lot more of my inspection to make sure that even after I've inspected and found the solution to the error block or pseudo error block, I'm able to see how to do the rest of the center as well. And yeah, like in general, that like I need to use more of my inspection, and I think everyone should do that as well in order to make error blocks not as intrusive as they might tend to be. But yeah, that's like the only downside that I can see with this technique. Like it's mostly just upsides, because most of the time you're only going to be doing error blocks when it's like very simple, very obvious to do. Like, say you have something like this. Yeah, like obviously when you insert this this partially formed error block with this edge, the right triangle is already there, so then you can just do that and it's formed. But yeah, most of the time it won't be that easy or obvious, so you're gonna have to get a bit more creative, and hopefully this video has given you some of the tools and enough examples that you can get a better idea of how you should proceed with this technique, right? I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'm gonna be making a lot more advanced tutorials in the future.